Danny Flexent here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by Tommy Hodgson. How are you doing?
Spot on, mate. Nice to meet you.
Obviously, soon to make your pro debut with One Empire Management. Storied amateur career, of course. I guess let's start there. Just tell us about what you've achieved in the amateurs, and I guess why now is the right time to turn over.
Oh yeah, perfect. I went through. When I first ever started boxing, I was like 13, 14. Started off in where I'm from, North Shields. I was just doing it for a bit of fun, really. I was doing football at the same time. I was pretty decent at football, and I just went for the fitness and fell in love with the sport. Started representing my county, time in my and stuff like that. And I started realising I was half decent at this sport actually. Then boxed went to Berkeley, the Berkeley gym. Then ever since I went to Berkeley gym, I just went like up like that. To be honest, like it's impossible not to being surrounded. When I first ever went, I sparred Pat McCormack, and I think Pat McCormack won world gold when I just went. And I didn't really know any of them really, to be honest. I just went in the gym and I was getting come back every week with black eyes. And me, mum, and my dad were like, "What's happening in there? Are you getting filled in?" Like, but I know. And I started going like that. I started like improving loads. It was impossible not to being surrounded with them lot. And started boxing for England. Got my first England vest. I represented England about 5 or 6 times. Then I was meant to go in the ABAs one year, and I damaged my hand, so I had to get pulled out. Then no one really knew of us really, to be honest. Then I went in. I think it was 2017 ABAs. I went into them, and I was bottom seed completely, and I beat everyone. Then got on to GB. And obviously people started realising stuff like that then. Was on GB for about 2 years. Boxed all over the world, went to loads of various training camps, Kazakhstan and America and stuff like that. It was class, to be honest. Like, experience-wise, they can't be beat, can it? Then now, then obviously I was meant to be competing at lightweight, 60 kilo. Then the weights got changed and I had to go up to 63 and that. And there was like 6 people competing at that weight. It was a bit of a struggle, to be honest with me. So I just thought this is the right time to turn professional. But obviously when I turned professional, COVID started straight away. And then, so I've been waiting a bit, to be honest. So I've been ready to box for a good while now.
So at Berkeley, you were obviously alongside the McCormack twins, Cyrus Pattinson as well?
Cyrus, Frenchie, Dickinson's, mate, everyone in that gym that's what I mean, like, boxing Newcastle's is going to be massive when all them turn pro. Like.
And will you still be training out of there as a pro with Graham Rutherford?
No. I left Berkeley a year ago, 2 years ago. Just wasn't no disagreement, nothing. I needed a change stuff. That was a bit of a trouble enough for me. And Graham is probably the best amateur coach about there is, to be honest. He's unreal.
So who will you be training under now, and where will you be based?
Dean Lang. Dean Lang used to box as a pro. Me and Dean have knew each other since, like, it's mad how it's worked out. Like, me and Dean boxers, like, obviously he was a bit older than me. Both boxed each other for I've been all over boxing each other for England, and he was boxing at Berkeley when I was boxing at Berkeley. Then he turned professional now. He's gone his own way, and he's got his own building company and stuff like that. He's doing well and stuff like that. But we just started like. Dean's always loves boxing, and he's got him like he watches in the gym. Then he always pull us to one side and just do stuff for us. Then we've always clicked. Anyway, we've always been friends, and he's just ever since I just went Dean like just train us and just being my coach, and it's just happened like that.
And how did the management deal come about with One Empire? How did you kind of get to know those guys?
It was sort of through Dean, to be honest, like, but I don't know much of it, or not be honest with, like, but it was a blessing for me because. I knew I was turning professional and that. I just didn't know where I was going or who, because I didn't really know how long it is, the medical side of it all and stuff like that. I thought you could just sign a bit of paper and that's it, you start fighting, but mate, it's long.
A lot more expensive than that.
Oh, it is, yeah. And then, but like I say, it took a load of stress off my shoulders. Just let's just focus on improving and training and stuff like that, really.
When's the debut likely to be, and where?
It's in Sheffield, 27th of August. Ponds Forge Sports Centre.
And presumably that'll be on Fight Zone.
Yeah.
Great stuff. What do you think about the whole Fight Zone concept? Obviously, it's
I went to a show not long ago, and the ones outside, and I was like thinking, this, I would love to make my debut on something like this. And I remember Jamie Sheldon saying, well, if you're going to, like, he's on about the one I'm going to be fighting on. He's like, well, if you like this, you'll be happy with the show that you're fighting on. So I was like, I was pretty made up, to be honest. Like,
yeah, Ponds Forge has hosted.
He makes a big deal out of
fights.
Dennis Hobson, doesn't he?
Yeah.
What's that, mate?
Yeah, Ponds Forge has hosted some big fights over the years, like Clinton Woods world title fights and stuff. Yeah, no, it'd be a great occasion.
Yeah, well, big class.
And are you looking forward, I'm guessing, to fans coming back? Obviously, you were debuting in a pandemic, and now you actually get to bring people along to watch.
I literally just before this phone call, I was jotting down like who was going to come and stuff. That I'm not now. I've got a pretty good few numbers. When like, because everyone from my area, as soon as something big like happens, like this happens, like everyone just wants to jump onto it straight away. Like they've all sorted out buses and coaches and stuff like that, and they're all flying to come down. Like,
and what do you know what your amateur record is?
Not roughly about 70 to 80 fights. I would say I lost about 14, 15 fights maybe.
And you're 25 now, so some people would say that's quite late to turn over. But do you think because you've got that wealth of amateur experience that makes up for that? Yeah,
I've got like a bit of a I wouldn't say my man strength, but I would say I've got my man strength, but I'm not fully developed. Like I see 15 and 16-year-olds with beards out there, and I'm like, well, surely I'm not a man yet. You know what I mean? But
there's no proven connection between beards and strength in the ring yet, but we'll see. We'll see what Baturbeyev's got to say about it. Yeah, so debut, how quick or not so do you think you can be moved? Because obviously you do have that GB experience. You see some of the GB guys with Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn get moved quite quickly. Do you see it being the same for you, or are you happy to take
maybe, but like I'm just going to, like with One Empire Management behind us, they can just sort all that out and if they like what they see the first few fights, they might just go, look there, boom, you can go for that, you can go for that. But I'm not gonna rush nothing. Like I'm just gonna enjoy it.
And are you able to be a full-time pro, or do you have to work at the same time?
Yeah, full-time pro.
That's got to be a blessing.
Massive. It's massive, mate. Like it's huge. Like because I speak to some people, like some pro boxers from my way and that, and then they'll work on a building site all day, then they'll go to box and they say it's a bit tighter and stuff like that. But it's now better than going to a gym full of beans when you can learn instead of just thinking, I'm just going to get through the session and then get through them, because you don't pick one stuff. You know what I mean? Like I can go into a gym fully focused. I train like before training thinking I'm going to learn the sessions. You know what I mean? Instead of being like I'm just going to get through the session and get back to bed for work tomorrow. So on that note, I want to, if my sponsors do decide to watch this, I want to thank you very much because it's huge, it's massive. Don't understand.
Do you want to name check them?
What's that, mate?
Do you want to name the sponsors?
I've got a few to name, like.
It's up to you. I mean, you can if you want, but
yeah.
Hopefully they will
watch. They know who they are.
They know who they are. Yeah, exactly. What about outside the ring? Are you still living at home with your family, or have you got a family of your own?
I live with my mum and dad, but see, my mum and dad like spot on. They're so laid back. Like they help us with everything. Like I'll come in, like this morning I finished my run. I'll come in. My dad had loads of porridge pots made up in the fridge and stuff like that. And the one is to do well. Like they don't understand everything.
It must be pretty cool because, like you said about not having to work, and you could just, and your management company dealing with the turning pro, and you could just focus on training. It must be the same with your parents because they take a lot of stress at home out of your life.
Oh, close. Especially like I remember in amateurs and that, like sometimes when I was making weight and I was struggling with weight and that, like I would come in the house and they would avoid us because when you're stressing and that, and I would just literally coming from training, couldn't just go straight and you have a bit of food and get straight into bed, like because you do get snappy in that, don't you? But I had the mint, like.
I'll take your word for it. I mean, I haven't dieted in several years, you can probably tell, but I'll take your word for that one. How do you feel about the debut coming up? So is it just excitement at the moment? Is there any nervousness?
Excitement, yeah, excited. Like I've been ready to go for ages. Just about not going overboard or just not doing too less. I'm just about I go in the gym every day and I can learn. Do you know what I mean? It's like I'm not stressing about making weight because my weight's sound and stuff like that. Like it's class. I'm loving it. I'm happy at the minute. Like.
And who do you look up to from a boxing perspective? Who do you watch and enjoy? Yeah.
As a child, I used to love watching Ricky Hatton. Ricky Hatton was amazing. Like boxing wise, that's all I already knew as a little kid. Like Ricky Hatton was the one to watch, wasn't he? And But now, I love watching the American style, mate. I love how they don't give nothing away, and it's just, I just love how they place the shots and stuff like that, and like every shot is never wasted. It's like I like how they do it. Like, it's pretty good. I've been watching a lot of American stuff.
And for people out there who haven't had the opportunity to see you as an amateur, just give us an idea of your style and what people can expect when you turn over.
I can do a bit of everything, but like, I'm excited now. I would say I'm excited to watch, to be honest, and just expect some big fights and some big nights to come. Like,
expect some fireworks.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Before I let you go, just one thing we always do the first time we speak to someone on the channel. Tell people out there how they can find you on the different social media platforms, what your handles are.
Thomas Hodgson on all social medias. I've got a Facebook page called Thomas Hitman Hodgson, and I've just made a Twitter page called Thomas Hodgson as well. So if you can follow us on them, that'll be class.
Great stuff. I'm sure they will. And we'll speak to you again, hopefully, after, because we're usually at the Fight Zone show. So we'll speak to you after you make your debut, and hopefully you'll be buzzed.
Thank you for Seconds Out as well for having us on.
No problem, mate. Anytime. And yeah, catch up again soon.
Cheers, Danny, man. Take care.